What's going on, guys? Welcome to another live session with your boy Phrankleen. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. If you like what I'm about, be sure to look around. My channel, my playlists. Um, Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Okay. So I'm gonna talk about immigration palaver, consequences of leaving your spouse. Um, Back in Africa. What's going on, Alonga baby? Thank you for stopping by. Hit the like button. I hope everyone is having a nice weekend so far. All the way from NC. Was that North Carolina? Right. So, hey, Kenneth. What's up, my brother? Rosemary, Candy, Dexter, Uzo, Lay Babs. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Copenhagen. Wow. I've got fans from all over the world, man. Listen, if you love Phrankleen, you need to support my channel. Hit on that. Look in the description, right? Go and check out my what's it called now? Uh, there's a PayPal link and then there's a Patreon link. Show your love, man. Hey, Candy Delancey from Texas. Anyway, let's crack on. So this one is about immigration palaver. I've had three different types of emails from people who basically have had, had to leave their partners, maybe back in Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and all that stuff, and they basically have had to travel abroad in search, for greener pastures. The classic, immigrant or immigration type of story. But in the first email that I got, a lady actually said, she was married in Nigeria. She's actually still based in Nigeria, but she watches my channel, so she sent me a very lengthy email. She's married to this gentleman and a husband. They have two kids together, a boy and a girl. So, they're both educated, but unfortunately, as the Nigerian economy is, as it's a common knowledge, they got challenges, getting paid properly and stuff. Both were actually educated up to master's degree level. So, long story short, he decided to get visa to travel abroad. And the whole thing was, okay, let me go first and go find my feet in the UK, blah 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 blah, and then hopefully I'll be able to bring you and the kids. Now, it must be said that there's been cases of immigrants whereby maybe the husband travels and then after some time he might find a way to bring his woman in. Some people have managed to do that, and managed to bring their wife and kids, but the truth is there's a plethora of challenges that goes with that. So long story short, this man traveled to the UK. He got to the UK and he was slapped in the face, by the realities of traveling abroad. And one of the realities is, especially when your foundation of, you living in a country like the UK is you've come in on maybe a visitor's visa and you magically believe that, things are going to be all right. And then you get here, you realize it's a very structured system. The immigration rules are ruthless and you become trapped in the shadow of the system. It's very difficult to be able to navigate, to have things like bank account, to do anything in your name. If the police car drives past, you're always nervous and stuff. You cannot work legally. There are no papers, and then it's always difficult to then jump on the plane and then go back. So what you find is you're trapped in that vicious cycle, and you are there. 1 year becomes two, two becomes three, three becomes four, four becomes five, and there are people, realistically speaking, there are people that leave abroad who 5, 6, 10, 15. I mean, the one that I saw recently was someone who's been in the UK for 22 years without papers. 22 bloody years. That's a long time. That's two sets of a decade and a bit. And it's the harsh reality. So what happens is most people, a male jumps on the plane, says, "Oh, I'm traveling abroad." Then when they get abroad, They realize that, maybe friends have told them A, B, C, and D. They see the truth. They realize that they can't get from A to B. They cannot navigate through the system. They can't even get properly educated, try to improve their lives. Then they start to chase and start looking for ways, to get their papers. It's the same thing if you live in the States, if you live in other parts of the EU. But the truth is, one of the things that happen is whilst people are trying to find their fit, one of the ways that they would look for a way out is basically joining up with a female and then establishing a relationship or sometimes a sham marriage in a nutshell. And what happens is, in reality, you've got a wife and kids at home. Sometimes the partner at home or the family of the partner at home might be in on it. They might know that you have to do such and such. But in most cases, when the man has already found a woman that might potentially help him, he conceals that information from the woman back home because the only contact you have is emails and Facebook and telephone calls, and he knows that you're going to be burning to the core of your souls. You're going to be angry that what. So you're piping down another woman. You've left me here with the kids and all that. It's not going to go down well, is what I'm saying. So, and the excuse will be, oh, I'm here. I have to sort my papers out. So it's a vicious cycle that's pretty much known to smash families into smithereens, which is why I'm always constantly trying to use my platform to put out information, because this is not about, there are some simple-minded, tiny little-minded people that would listen to me and think, oh, yeah, because you live in the UK, you don't want me to travel abroad. Nye, 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 nye. I don't own the United Kingdom. You know, if I leave the United Kingdom today, the United Kingdom will always be there. It will carry on. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't control the immigration system. So why would I want to prevent, somebody from coming here? But the truth is, the reality, a lot of people that want to come abroad are blinded. They're blind, or not even blinded. They are very ignorant. They are misinformed, or they're not properly informed. Some of them have been lied to. So when they get to the destination, then the reality hits them, and most of the time it's usually too late. So that's the case of that woman. The man soon, the lady soon realized that her man got with a woman here. They had, before you know it, they've already had two kids. He started a family here. And the family back home are usually very, very, very selfish. And especially if it's the man's family, they would say to the woman that, oh, hang on, he has to do what he has to do. He needs to sort himself out, and he will come and get you. And it's even worse when it's a lot worse, and it's a lot more deadly when they expect that woman to then hold and keep herself for however long, because she's waiting for the man. So basically, there's sexual deprivation. You're meant to suppress your natural needs. You cannot have sex. You cannot look elsewhere because you're pretty much trapped. You're waiting for your husband, who is yet to get papers abroad. He's trapped in the system. He's still not. He's still basically trying to find his feet. He has no papers, and you are sat at home. So your sexual needs and desires are expected to be suppressed. Also, there was another email from someone. This one is actually a gentleman who, his wife came here first, right? The wife came here, so he was back home in, was it Ghana, with their two children. So she came here, and basically the plan was she would find a fit. She has a few cousins here, so the what they thought was, within a short while she'll be able to file for her husband and the kids, so they can then come and join her. But then she came here, things took banana shape. It didn't play out, and then the woman got trapped. It became really difficult. She was working, doing menial jobs and supporting the man with whatever she can support, him with the kids back home. And then one thing led to another, and then that woman found herself having an affair with, let me say, in a relationship with another man, because basically it's seen as the way out. This is the harsh reality for a lot of people in the immigrant community. People don't talk about this all the time, but these things happen 24 bloody 7. every day 365. And these things have been known to destroy quite a lot of families. It's always very selfish. I'm trying to look at another perspective here. So, a man and woman are married, say back in Nigeria, for example, and the dude gets a visa and he's trying to go abroad. Now, families back home in Nigeria, especially the man's family, and sometimes the woman's family, they expect the woman to just basically, accept and sit down, especially if they got maybe a couple of kids. Okay, the husband, so 1 year, 2 years, 3 years gone past, 4 years, is still not being able to, to come and pick you and stuff. And then they just expect that woman to carry on being loyal. This is one of the things where I say we apply quite a lot of sentiments. So the woman's rights, the woman's needs, the woman's wants, the woman's desires are expected to be suppressed. Because why? Oh, your husband is abroad. And if she dares even look at someone else down the road or wink at another man, she is seen as a slut. She's seen as a filthy woman. And they would say, oh, she's frolicking around, blah, 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 blah. I don't see how any human being will be able to actually suppress their emotional needs and wants, right? And just put their life on hold just because their partner has decided to go abroad and he's trapped abroad and he's not been able to come here. And it's a very, very harsh reality that's obliterated quite a lot of relationships. The third one was actually this one. Neither of the partners were held in Africa, right? But I'm just going to drop this one in. Both of them came here, but they were hoping that things will be like a bed of roses in the UK. But the reality slapped them in the face like it does most people, right? And then the gentleman, when they got here, things became really difficult. They couldn't really achieve their papers and be able to do things and live normal life. So the gentleman proposed to his wife and said, okay, I'll go find someone that I'll amalgamate myself with. You go that way and find someone that you amalgamate yourself with. Hopefully, if I try to file my, be able to, get our papers. And hi, Ruby, thank you for the support. And then we can then be able to get our papers, and then we can then come together as a couple and carry on as normal. That to me is what I call a fairy tale. Okay, it's a sham wedding, and you should bear in mind that a sham marriage, if you're busted, has severe consequences. The most of the consequence being that you're likely going to get deported. Okay, now I get it. You got to do what you got to do, right? And I talk with all due respect, to anyone who is trapped in the situation and stuff like that. I do not take your situation for granted, or I do not take it with levity. But but this is why I use my platform to put out contents. So hopefully educate people and let people know that the harsh realities of life abroad, man, ain't a joke. Ain't a joke. It happens a lot in the immigrant community. Actually, a few days ago, I was walking down the road. I bumped into a gentleman and we just got talking. He's Jamaican, and he told me that he's been trapped here for like more than a decade. And there's no papers, there's nothing. He's doing whatever he can to survive. And he said his wife and kids have been back in Kingston. And then he found out that his missus has been having an affair with someone who is high up in the government, blah, 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 blah. And she's in fact pregnant. I empathize with the brother, but the truth is, life is just crazy. You're trapped here. The woman has to put her life on hold for 10 years. More than 10 years. That's a long time. And it's like we feel entitled. We don't want to accept this reality. We just want to, that means, she doesn't love me enough. That means he doesn't love me enough. No. It's very hard. In fact, for me to demand that my woman put a lot. If somebody wants to kick it with you, they claim to love you, and maybe you went to prison for something you didn't exactly do, or you were implicated, and your woman decides to wait for you. So be it. I would appreciate that, but I cannot make the demand. They're two separate things. If somebody waits for you, they genuinely wait for you, wow, that's a superhuman. But to demand and expect that they wait for you for that long, you have a woman. So basically, you're traveling abroad on the template of a broken home because whether we accept it or not, you've gone and you've left her behind with two kids. She becomes vulnerable, and then you've gone in the hope that you want to go strive, and then you get abroad, and then you're trapped, and the woman is back home, and then your family and your uncles and aunties and everybody and your mama is looking at the woman. Oh, she's married. They expect her to just wait and wait and wait, and then the truth is, dude, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna end up busting a nut, man. You will. Oh, you will. You will end up busting a nut. You will find yourself sliding into a vagina of some kind. It's always very hard. Even if it's the woman, you will find yourself bending over to some man's genitalia. You will find yourself busting your legs wide open. You see, the way I try to look at life is, it's very easy for people to say, oh, she's a slut. Oh, he is this and this and this. But it's hard. Think about it, man. You're working 15, 16 hours a day. The biological clock, the body is wired. There is nothing, there is no attention. You're horny, you're turned on, you want to, and then some good looking brother who is harmless, just comes under the radar, just starts to tailgate. Hey man, let me take you out for a meal. Let me take you out for a date. This can I come around? Oh, let's go to the cinema. Let's this and this and this. Oh, you look beautiful. They just pats you on the shoulder, and your body just ooh. Oh, you see someone who has been sexually deprived for so long, and somebody just said, "Oh, you look beautiful in that dress." Oh, thank you so. Oh my God. Gbogbo ara ti gbẹ kan. Are you joking? You know straight. Oh, imagine someone who's been grinding, who is you've been by yourself, you're trying to keep it together, and then this chocolate brother just shows up and say, sister, wow, you look, your legs are amazing in those shoes. It could be a genuine compliment. Are ma kọ́kọ́ ṣẹ́gìrì ni pé gá ẹlẹ́dàá mi ò yé, um, oh my, that ain't gonna before you know, man. Honestly, man, life is crazy, but the problem that we have in the African communities, we apply too much too much sentiments. Somebody said, so are you saying break up before traveling or accept whatever happens during the waiting period? I'm not it's a good point. I'm not clamoring for a relationship. I'm not advocating for relationship sabotage, okay? But we've got to address the elephant in the room. We've got to say like it is. We've got to tell ourselves the truth. My G, I'm not suggesting that you don't love your husband, right? You love him. You walk down the aisle. You exchange vows. You probably had one or two kids. And then life, and then you decided, oh, this and this and this. You managed to get some visa. You thought, when you get to the UK or the US, you're going to be all right, right? Then you get abroad. Then you realize that those people that um, you realize that those people that took you in, you have limited time to live with them. You have to go get your own spot. And then you need somebody's papers to survive. And then you need this and this and this and this. And because the reality about the life abroad is, in order for you to be able to effectively navigate the system and move from A to B. Maybe you want to go to university and get more education, get a better job, move up the career ladder, start a business. You need papers. You need to find your fit. You need to be able to, okay, oh, I need to jump on the plane and go to Ghana. I need to go to Kenya. I need to fly to the States. I want to get to Amsterdam. I want to get to Paris tomorrow morning. I'll be back on Wednesday. You need papers. There's so many things. There's so many things. So you're trapped. And then you meet someone that maybe it just started off with a bit of a chat, a friend of a friend. And the person just gets to know about your background and say, you haven't got papers. I really like you. And I don't know, you seem like a good guy. I don't mind. I'm I'm a nurse. This and this and this. I've got my own flat. I've got my own job. This and this and this. I don't mind. I can, as long as you're true to yourself and you're not, you don't break my heart. You're serious about the relationship. I don't mind filing your papers for you. Imagine a man who ain't got no papers. There's a beautiful black sister in front of you telling you, I don't mind. I'll file for you. But are you joking? You get what I'm saying? The light bulb is just gonna go off like, whoa. Didn't Christmas just come early for me? That's an opportunity of a life bloody time. It's not a joke. So the man thinks, oh, okay. It always starts with, let me see if I can just get my papers and then I'll find a way to break away from the relationship. I've got my wife in Nigeria, and then if I get my papers, I'll pull out of the relationship, and then I'll tell her I'm not going ahead anymore. Then that way I can get my wife and kids in. It's a big lie. It never works out like that. Even the fact that you're gonna get papers from someone and then dump them, have babies, they're gonna have babies by them, and then it's evil, man. It's an emotional roller coaster and dilemma and destroying other people's life. It's all built on lies and stuff. So also, there's also been cases where some people actually try, they use some other people to get papers in the hope that they will jump out and then go back and go get their partners. You see, the woman that you got pregnant here, that has given you her time, her emotions, and everything, then she realized that, oh, hang on, I have been used. That woman is going to turn to a three-headed dragon. She's going to become a demon and destroy your life, and very rightly so. So wait, so you got between my legs. You took advantage of me emotionally, and you got me pregnant. You did this and this and this and this. So just so you can go get your wife and kids back home. So we then start to say, oh, this woman is wicked. No, she's gonna ring up immigration on you and destroy your papers. I've heard of stories where people, what's it called now? People have used. Let me see. You also need to address the issue of living with your spouse in the same country or home, no issues or quarrel, and yet no sexual relationship. This is what's happening in most homes these days. That's a totally different topic. I don't mind addressing it. Adekemi Banjo, I like what you're talking about. It has nothing to do with these papers. Can you push me an email to footchannel1960 at gmail.com? I can look into that and talk about that next time, right? These paper matter. Now, wow, Jesu Bawa. Let me tell you, man, this paper status, immigration matters, palaver is huge in our communities. Somebody's watching this. It may not be your cup of tea. You might have had a smooth sailing. You got your little British citizenship, and you're like, oh, this is not mine. This has got nothing to do with me. Good for you. But if you look at the bigger picture, it's it's a major, 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 major problem within the community. Listen, if you've just joined the live session, once the live session comes to an end, all right, you can always come back and watch the playback from start. So you've not missed anything, all right? So this is why I say to people, have a think. All I'm saying is, like somebody said earlier, I am not advocating for because your husband is traveling abroad. I'm not advocating for emotional or relationship sabotage and asking you to just break away from that person. And you need to weigh your options. This is why I say to people, ignorance is not an excuse. Me or more. I didn't know. Blah 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 blah. Because the reality is, life abroad is totally totally, totally different. Because when you get here, for most people, then you soon realize that, oh, hang on, oh, my cousin said if I get a visitor's visa, I'm gonna be all right. Oh, my sister said if I get to the UK, oh, I can live with her for the next 3 years. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. You see, sometimes let me say this quickly and we come to an end. Sometimes when people say you can live with me, right? Sometimes it's because they've not been faced with the exact reality. The person might mean well, like, oh yeah, 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 sure, sure. If you come to the UK, oh, yourself and your wife or your children, oh, you can stay with me. That's not a problem, man. I've got a 3 bedroom house. There's a spare bedroom, but the reality kicks in when you land, and then they then have to feed you morning, afternoon, evening. In most cases, they then have to clothe you. The electric bill and everything skyrockets. Because if you don't have a job, you haven't got papers, you haven't got an employment. So let's say you come abroad, or you and your partner, or you and your children, you are going to become dependent on those people. That means 2 or 3 additional mouths to feed 3 times a day, 7 times, 7 days a week, and 30 days, 365. That's the harsh reality. So sometimes it's not because those people are evil. So sometimes when you land, within the first 1 month, they might be okay. Like, ah, yeah, yeah, it's not a problem. There's a bag of rice, beans, and all those things. There is gari. They're making soup, chicken. But when you start eating and other things, maybe I want to go say hello to someone. Oh, sorry, can I get money off you to buy my to pay for my train travel, or to pay for my bus travel? And then they have to they have to then be giving you money. Then the reality sets in, because that person, they have a set amount of money that they earn. They might not be earning great, great, great. They have to pay taxes. They have to pay their own bills and overheads. And then it's like 3 additional mouths. And then reality sets in. And they don't know how to then say, dude, listen, you've got to go, man. It's not easy. It's not easy, man. They have to clothe you. They have to feed you. And some people, it's the truth. Some people live with you, and they don't even know. Like they say in Yoruba, in English, it's some people don't understand common courtesy, how to behave. And some people, you want to sit down, they want to eat 3 pieces of meat, they want to have 2 chunks of fish, they find packs of orange juice and cans of Coke. Glug, 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 glug. You want to have 2 cans. Your wife is having 2 cans. Your kids are drinking. And that's money. It's not exactly because those people are evil. Then reality sets in and they're like, yo, I cannot cope with this. And then they just ask you to go. I mean, you want to eat bread and eggs, and you one person, you're frying 5 eggs. Obviously, you're frying 5 eggs. A lot of them get 5. I've seen that before. This is 5. You fry 5 eggs. So basically, the dude buys a crate of 15 eggs, and one person, has fried 5 for your mouth. Then you start telling people that mi ò dé jẹ ju ẹyin mẹ́rin lọ. Ṣé èmi ní Fẹ́mi wá ń fi wò sí lọ báyìí? Mi ò dé jẹ ju bọ̀kọ̀tọ̀ mẹ́rin péré ni mo mú, àti ẹran àgémáwọ 5 náà la jẹ. Èmi àti ìyàwó mi láàrin wa á jẹ ju ẹran 6 lọ. Yo. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. Forgive me. See, all I'm saying is, yeah, if you if you stay in someone's house, right, and You want to eat 5 pieces of meat in one sitting without consideration for the household. They might even have their own children. They have a crate of maybe 30 eggs, and you feel like boiling eggs, and then you crack on with 5 eggs, and then come on, man, come on. I've seen, that's why when people tell stories, uh, oh yeah, Jimmy, oh just because I heard, no, dude, why would you fry 5 eggs for yourself? I only had six. Me and myself and my wife only had 6 pieces of meat. One sitting. Why? You're a visitor. Probably have 1 piece of meat, have a boiled egg and a few slices of tomatoes, and that's okay. A few slices of plantain. This is the harsh reality. Food is one of the major problems. People think, oh, food is nothing. For the average man, food is a lot. I don't mind, but that is why I'm a straight talking guy. To my support of it, I don't care man yet. I like fam. Don't I'm a jama to because I can't cope. So it doesn't mean I'm an evil person. And yeah, so here we are. As a guy that sent me an email. Finally, there's a man that sent me an email that said he loved his wife back home. He didn't mean to let her down, but he was trapped in a tight corner. He sent me an email, and I felt it in my soul. He said, "Phrankleen, I've been in the UK for close to 5 years, at the bottom of the barrel, surviving on cleaning jobs. I've slept in charity-owned buildings. I've slept in homeless shelters because friends kicked me out. They said I had to go. I was a burden because I had no job, I had no papers, documents had expired. Because of shame, he couldn't go back home. So somehow, he met this lady. One thing led to another. She kind of just felt compassionate, just like this and this and this. You're educated. You're sleeping rough. Oh, I've got a place. You can need to. He starts to get food. She helped somebody. She linked him up with someone that had an industrial type of business, and he was working in the recycling section. He started making about £900 a month. He starts to survive. He wasn't paying rent. This woman gave him a place. One day, one day, one thing led to another right in the middle of winter. The devil is a liar. Fact. One day, one thing led to another. He smashed the woman, got her pregnant. One thing led to another. They cozy up. She filed for him. She filed papers for him and stuff. Don't forget, this man has a woman back home with 2 kids. That's the truth. How do you now? If you listen to that woman back home, this man has done her dirty. She's waiting. She was waiting, just waiting for him, because the agreement was he's gonna come back someday, at least maybe move back home. But you and I know that 9 out of 10 times when people come out of Africa, moving back is usually not on the cards for a long time. So man was here, and he said to me, he said, "Phrankleen, this woman was sweet as pie. Very kind, very nice. Before you know, a lovely baby boy came out, and before you know, oh, somebody said wear condoms. Hey, Lord, wear condoms. Yo, bugger." The joke is on you, man. Wear condoms. Of course, wear condoms, have safe sex. That's very, you know, that's a PC thing to say, and it's also a very important thing to preach safe sex. But wear condoms. Wow. You didn't see it? I was a guy, yeah, so as I was saying, that was the case, and before you know it, they had 2 kids. And the woman back home, the family, there was a big, big fight. But then, watch this. He then eventually told this woman here in the UK the truth. Said, okay, I have a woman back home, had 2 kids by me, blah, 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 blah. The woman here was mad for a while. Like, why didn't you tell me, blah, 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 blah. But then she forgave him and said, okay, I still love you. Dude stayed with her. He went home, tried to apologize to the one back home. Do you see that, man? It's messy. This is the harsh reality, man. So if you and your partner, you're living abroad or whatever, or you both come here, you're trapped, no papers, and then you're the one saying, oh, you go there, go get someone to marry to get papers. You go there. Let me tell you, man, especially if you're a man, I'm gonna do your will, I'm gonna lalek. So don't complain. Because if you tell your woman to go and you're a man, you tell your woman, go to that man over there. Go and get the papers sorted. Just know that they're going to pipe the hell out of your woman's vagina. So don't you dare complain. Don't shout at that woman and it's always those people that do papers for those women, yeah. They always have bula. They have genitals the size of a horse's genital. They will pipe your woman down. Don't complain. Don't let me hear pim. Hold the fire. Believe me, man. So don't start acting like Incredible Hulk. No way, Laura. How can you do this to me? Like that. I'm sorry, man. If it sounds a little crass, man, forgive me. I just have to say this. This is the truth. These things happen, man. It's your boy Phrankleen. I want to go have a nice plate of food. It's Saturday evening. Thank you for watching. I should be back online tomorrow. We'll talk about something. Listen, send me an email to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Before you travel abroad, weigh your options, think properly, plan properly. Ignorance is not an excuse, so that you don't get trapped in a relationship, in a pretty much bogus relationship whilst you're waiting, man. This is the harsh reality. Thank you for listening. I'll expect your emails, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Peace and love. Bye now.